straight talk and sharp analysis from one of India's most dynamic captains during England's tour of India. ESPN Cricket Bow Match Day starts November 9th, 10 p.m. only on Sony ESPN and Sony ESPN HD.
All round, it was an outstanding performance, you know, against a world-class side who's obviously good in these sort of conditions, having come from England not long ago. To put in such a clinical performance, having, you know, a lot of guys haven't even played a warm-up game here since they've returned from India, was extremely satisfying, and I think the bowling performance yesterday was as good as I've seen. I just think the performance, as I said, in itself was outstanding. You know, put the debutants to one side, I think, you know, the contribution from everybody with the ball in both innings as a bowling unit, that's as good as it's been for a long time. I think with the bat, you know, we're challenged by an extremely good attack. You know, in that first innings when it was overcast, it certainly, you know, created some challenges in itself, and you know, I thought a number of the guys stood up nicely, albeit not for perhaps long enough. But that second innings chase, you know, those small targets are always challenging, and I think the clinical nature of it was, will certainly give us some confidence. You know, Colin's been a talented player for a long time, but we've sort of been waiting for something to click. You know, for him to show that he's sort of worked out how to play at first class level first. And just the last sort of 6 months, we've seen some really good signs of that with bat and ball. So, you know, his was just a matter of time, really. You know, whether it be short form or long form, he just needed to work out his own game plan and experience. You know, people do mature at different stages, and I think you know, in this instance, Colin's probably a slightly late maturer, but he's still got plenty of years left in him. And as for Jeet, I mean, for him to make his debut in, you know, conditions like this that he's certainly performed in the last few years was great, and I thought his decision making throughout was exceptional.
Can you give us a comment on the bowling performance, particularly that second innings bowling performance out there with the seamers and the way they performed?
I think it's the best collective bowling unit, bowling performance in the last 4 or 5 years, certainly that I can remember. And you know, we've bowled sides out at times over the last few years, but to be as disciplined and stick to plans for long periods of time, you know, not one guy, not two guys, but the whole bowling unit was extremely pleasing, and it was nice that they got the rewards last night.